I have to share something with you that I thought is so dang funny. As somebody who has a dog rescue, we got the Love Pup Foundation. We have dogs at my house. I have like 6 or 7 of my own dogs. And then we have all these extra dogs at my house. And we have dogs in foster care. We open up our own building in a couple of weeks. We're opening up our new building. But this is so funny. So I have this friend of mine, and Kyle's friends too. Jamie is her name. She does does our skin. She does our Botox and facials, and she does our stuff. And I got this thing yesterday where she like lasered my face off and all kinds of stuff yesterday. Her boyfriend or fiance is, I've known him for years, and he is like, his business or whatever he does is really skyrocketed. He is like a yoga teacher, but also has become a life coach. And he's become a life coach for these athletes that have become like Super Bowl champions. Like he is, I don't know all their names, but they're very famous. My kids know all their names. Like one of the athletes is like a top football fantasy draft, this guy, and this other guy's, all these interviews after they won the Super Bowl, but he's with the Chiefs, and he flies to this guy's house once a week with the Chiefs and does yoga, and most of the time he does all these Zooms with all these famous people, and he coaches them through life, and he does a lot of yoga. Now he's doing less and less yoga, right? But he does it on the Zoom. Well, Jamie, his fiance, our friend, is addicted to French bulldogs.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Frenchies.
They're so cute.
So she now has 3 French bulldogs. Did you see the new one she got?
No.
She just adopted a new French bulldog, and he's like 9 weeks old, and he's
So
one of those
cute.
blue ones. He's the short blue. If you go on the website at johnjayandrich.com, you can see a picture of the new French bulldog. But let me tell you what happened with Donnie. He's serious. He's a business
Oh,
guy.
yeah. He's like the epitome of Zen
Yes.
and focus.
Like I throw jokes his way, and sometimes they don't go anywhere. Just but he's he tries to meditate sometimes, and their first 2 French bulldogs are really well behaved. This new one is only 9 weeks old and barks a lot. So she told me the story yesterday, and I begged her for the video, begged her. And she was like, I don't know if Donnie's going to let me give you the video. I got the video. And the video's on our website, but this is the video. He's in his house, and he's doing a Zoom yoga class with all these pros. And he's trying to be a pro himself. The dog, the puppy, is in a crate on the other side of the house and is barking and won't stop barking during this professional yoga class. So listen to what happened.
Breathe steady. 1 minute.
So she calls House of Dog Day. He goes, I don't want to talk to you today. He's like, I don't want to talk to you today. Isn't that hilarious? So they're like engaged to be married, and he did refuse to talk to her the rest of the day because she wouldn't adopt this puppy. He's like, we have 2 already. What do we need 3 for?
He loves them.
I know.
They're so cute.
The pictures are up at johnjayandrich.com, and you can see the video of him trying to do this yoga class with all that happening. Now, speaking of being upset or irritated with someone you love that you live with, Suzette is going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
This time it's bad with Alvaro. It's like bad.
Now,
Poor
Alvaro.
thing. I feel like ever since you got married, you guys fight so much.
But I feel like our other fights, they're not that big of a deal. But I would say I'm like the fiery one, definitely. But I try to keep my cool. This time he messed up. He messed up bad. So yesterday, it was a busy day for me. I was running around. I didn't leave work until almost 3 p.m. After that, I had a meeting. And then after that, I met with a friend that wasn't doing well. So I got home and I was exhausted. But while I was here at work, I knew we needed groceries. That was in the back of my mind. So I ordered groceries on Amazon now, so it would get here. But it said it was going to get to the house between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. I was like, whatever, man, we just need food at the house. So I order it and I go about my day. I get home finally like at 8 p.m. and I have no energy. I'm like dragging my backpack on the way to the bedroom. I sit on my bed and I'm working on my laptop. And this is how tired I was. I fell asleep with my laptop on my laps like that. I passed out like that. And Mr. Baby got home because he has a second job. He got home. And he's like, hey, I think the groceries got here. So I look at him and I'm like, okay, can you, like, I'm half asleep. I'm like, can you put the groceries away? I'm like, I'm tired and I can't get up. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. So he walks out of the room. I wake up in the middle of the night because he yells while he's playing video games. So I'm irritated at that. He yells and I literally jump like a little baby, like like scared. And I'm just like, oh, okay, whatever. He's playing video games. Like that's like almost every night. So I go back to sleep. I wake up this morning and I go make my coffee and I see all the groceries on the floor right there in the living room. And I'm like, my blood starts to boil and I'm like, dude, I ordered milk. I ordered eggs, cheese, chicken, all just.
You didn't put any of the refrigerated stuff in the fridge?
He didn't put anything. You know how it has that tape on the bag?
Yeah.
He didn't open any of the bags.
So like what you're saying, he brought them from like the front stoop just inside the door and set them right down and that's it?
Uh-huh. Yeah, he didn't put it in the fridge. And so at this point, I'm like, okay, I wake up grumpy already. So keep your cool, Susie. Don't pop off right now. I'm like talking to myself. And I'm like, I wake up hungry all the time. I'm already hangry. There's so many things going through my head. And I'm like, I'm going to say something I'm going to regret. So I just I walk over to the bedroom and I'm like, babe, you didn't put the food away in the fridge. And you wanted me to get milk and eggs. And he didn't say anything. He got up so fast. He just got up. He went to the living room and I'm like, doing my makeup at this point, and I hear him just like opening the bags real quick and putting everything in the fridge. And I'm like, I'm just not gonna say anything. And if he says something, you know, I'm gonna try to keep my cool because I'm not and you don't want to mess with me right now. It's really early. I'm hungry. I'm on a time crunch. So he comes back to bed. He looks at me. He doesn't say anything. He goes back to bed. But right now, I'm like, we're gonna have a talk after work. Like I'm still angry about it, so we have to talk about it. So this is the one time that I'm like, okay, Alvaro, you really crossed the line.
Because you call
man.
his nickname is Mr. Baby, which you call him 99% of the time. But when you're angry with him, you call him Alvaro, his real name.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a legitimate reason to get mad, and this is the problem I think with video games. Two problems you brought up here. There's actually three things I heard in this story that are are really relatable for me. One is not relatable. One is screaming and yelling in the middle of the night. My kids do that when they play video games, and it sucks for us that don't get a lot of sleep. I'll be lying there asleep. I hear screaming and yelling. Like it's crazy. Two is getting distracted by video games, or it consumes their life and they don't do. Three is Rich said stoop. You brought the groceries in off the stoop. Like, what is it, 1955?
Unrelatable one.
That's the unrelatable one. He just brought the groceries in off the stoop? What?
I know.
What am I?
Like, what? I guess the stoop is the porch.
Stoop. You
Is that
brought the
what the
groceries in
stoop
off the
is?
stoop.
I think that's a Midwest thing.
I
Is
thought
that
it was like a British thing.
You
I was like,
open
oh,
up-
that sounds so distinguished.
You opened the front door. So you brought I'm like, stoop. I know you opened the door. There they are.
You know that little piece of,
On the what's a stoop?
the little piece of concrete in front of the front door?
Yeah.
That's
No,
what
we
Midwest
got-
we
we
call
gotta-
a stoop.
At the
We
porch.
just piece of concrete. That's the floor.
I assumed it was the porch when I heard you. I was like,
You brought up.
yeah.
You brought up with the Huxtables. And I was like, what? I don't know how. I don't even know. I don't even know what a stoop is. I'm like,
Sorry, I won't use fancy language.
yeah, please don't.
it threw him
Please
off.
don't.
It threw Johnjay off.
Rich grew up all Norman Rockwell.
He's like, I'm going to the loo.
Yeah. You brought them in with the stoop. I almost didn't hear the rest of Suzette's story. I was like, what?
You're the old. I mean, yes, that for a second I was like, stoop. And then I continue listening. But like, you fixate on things, Johnny.